Hi, I'm going to give you a review on my trip we just got back from on Carnival cruise. The cruise ship was Liberty. It was a 7-day cruise from Roatan, Belize, and Cozumel. I'm going to be looking up and down at my notes periodically to tell you how everything was. So last trip we took, I think this is our third cruise, we've done them all with Carnival. Been very pleased. This one was on the, as I said, the Carnival Liberty. We left out of New Orleans. It stopped in Roatan, which is Honduras, Belize, and Cozumel. And I'm going to give you a general view on all of them, and then I'm going to review each of the ports that we went to. So first of all, I'd like to give Carnival Cruise improvement on this boarding. So they started this new thing. Instead of everybody arriving at 3:30 p.m. and checking in and waiting in lines that were a half hour to an hour long. Kind of a pain in the butt, but it was worth it eventually. So they started this staggered boarding. Definitely a plus, because as we're pulling in, everything was easier. We picked the last one because we're driving 13 hours to get there. So we took the 2 to 2:30 slot. Everything went smooth, went up to the 6th deck. Very easy parking also. So we heard people, when we went to some of our places, they were on the Spirit, the other cruise line. I can't think of what the name of it is right now. And they were complaining parking was a pain in the butt for them getting there. Also, I would recommend just parking. It's $175. They do take a card right when you get to parking. Just follow. It's really nice when you get to New Orleans. They have police officers, security guards kind of guiding you on where to go. Hey, what ship are you going on? Blah, blah, blah. Pull over here. So you can park. If you pay the $175, you literally get your stuff out of your vehicle and get on the elevator, go straight down to where you need to go, and you start the customs process. Customs, so we've been through this before, was also smoother because there wasn't long lines, so they could get you through way faster. I mean, it was glorious. I give them an A plus on this. Obviously, don't be a dumbass, if I could say that on YouTube, and bring drugs with you. If you do, you're a moron. They got dogs there, they'll find them. Another thing that they don't let you take on the ship is a fan. Like my wife likes sleeping with a fan running in the night. Don't try to take it on. They'll either confiscate it, or a nice lady walk me all the way back and let me put it in my truck and get back on the boat. So when we get there, you see it. It's nice to see the ship you're getting on. You can see it from a distance. You can see it as you're getting close and winding up the little zigzag as you get there. The ship's appearance, like I said, this is our third cruise. I mean, we're not experts. The ship's appearance was crappy, and I mean, there was rust on it, and you can see from the rust that if you have anything that's painted white, the rust, and when it gets wet, the rust runs down it. Not just on the white paint, but on all the windows. So they need to take that thing back and port, sandblast it, paint it. Not a major expense. Another thing, so that was definitely had gotten worse. As we're dragging our luggage to our room, actually I think they took the luggage. We only had a few that we were carrying on. Oh, that was another thing. I'll back up. When you go to parking, right as you pull in, you'll stop, and there'll be some people waiting there, like a lot of people, like 10. 2 are actually working, and 8 are sitting down waiting for more people. But there are the baggage check guys. So if you have something that just goes to your room, make sure you have your tags on it that you should have already printed out, staple it to them. Doesn't have to be fancy, and that'll be waiting on your room. Makes everything way easier. And you know, if you have something you wanted to carry, a purse or whatever that has your money and etc., obviously do that. And then tip those guys. I gave my guy $5. They're happy with it, and they get it to your room. And you know, take your medicine with you in case it gets lost. Like I've only heard one person complain that it was because their this gal that I met in the hot tub, her luggage got cracked. You know what I mean? Like too much stuff was on or whatever. And Carnival was like replacing it for her, paying her for it. So that was very heads up. Appreciate that. Just hearing that from another person. As we're walking to our rooms, as I was starting to say, you're going down the long corridor, and the ceilings are, you know, I'm 6'2". They got to be like 6 foot 7 or 8 or something. I mean, there's not a lot of headroom, but there was literally water dripping. They were trying to work on these pipes like in 3 different places. They had buckets, and they had, like, I'll call it insulation that was soaking wet and garbage, and they pulled it down. And I know they're trying a quick turnaround on this, but as a customer, it looked janky, and just wanted to mention that. And while we're on the negatives, I'm going to bring up one negative, which I'm shooting a little bit ahead. Whole time we're traveling, the ship's engine, you can feel it vibrating. This is our 3rd cruise, so this is not our first time on a cruise. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel a vibration. It ain't that, it's the vibration of the ship. I own a boat, and it is not supposed to be like this. The whole entire trip, just blah, 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 blah. If you go to the Red Frog and order a drink, you can feel it on your feet, like really terrible. And then this was a 7-day cruise, so this is the longest we did. So we went, like I said, Roatan, Belize, and Cozumel. So this was longer. And then just the general rocking, you know, you're in a little more open waters. I understand that. So it was rocking. I don't think they can do anything to help that. But I think the Liberty might be a little bit of a smaller boat. Well, I know it's a smaller boat. Smaller the boat, the more rocking you're going to get. But, you know, I can't say it was the captain's fault. But definitely something was wrong with the engine, or I don't know if they even have props on those giant things. But so let's go to rooms. So rooms. So we have 4 in our party. We have 2 teenagers, me and my wife. And so what they have is like a couch that lifts up into a bunk bed. They lifted it the first day, left it. Worked good. Very happy with that. So as far as the comfortableness of the bed, it was an average like hotel bed. Believe me, you're not going to fall in love with it. But it wasn't terrible. They gave you 2 pillows. And we had a balcony. So I like a balcony. My wife likes a balcony. You can go out and see stuff. Now, if you get any of the other ones, you can save a lot of money. Or if you want to put your kids, like you get the balcony and put your kids across the hall and they get an interior room, you can save a little money too. That's what we're probably going to do next time. And as you're entering, the ship won't take off until every single person has their emergency instructions where they tell you how to put on a life jacket, and this is your boat you get on. That was a lot better. Last time we waited for 30 minutes minimum, and you're just excited, and it's still chilly for us. We went in January. You know, you just want to get this boat moving, and you had to wait on the last person for your group that would be in your boat. This one was way better. I give them another A+ on this. When you get there, there's a person waiting for you, and they scan you in, beep, 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 and to show that you were there, because everybody has to have this instructions. And as they do it, they just basically say, have you ever put on, this is where you're going to report to if the boat starts sinking. Have you ever put on a life jacket? If not, here's how you do it. And it was fast, so I really appreciate that. You didn't have to wait on other people that were being inconsiderate. Another thing, this is not in my notes, I just saw that the beep beep made me think of it. Put the Carnival app on your phone. You are going to have it if you're eating at the evening dinner thing, that I forget what you call it, but the evening dinner thing, you're going to save a lot of time, and you get a lot of instructions. There's a lot of good stuff on there too, like what's entertainment for tonight, or what is for supper, the menu. Do I want to go to fine dining, or do I want to eat at Guy Fieri's burger joint? So get that ahead of time, and if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You could do it right there. But when you report to fine dining the first night, it's a little chaotic, because people like me are like, what the hell you mean I gotta have the Carnival Hub app? So maybe think about doing that one. Entertainment, so we're kind of old, so we don't stay up past 10. So the only thing I can comment is stuff that happened before 10, because my ass is getting in bed by 10. And I'm up at 5 in the morning. But so entertainment, the best, there's 2 outstanding entertainment things. I mean, just outstanding. There's one girl, she's a Filipino gal who plays the guitar and sings, and her name was Reggie, Regie, and phenomenal. She's the #1 by the best. Then there was another violin group trio called Famous Fingers, and they were very, very good, and they must have worked their butt off. They were always working. The comedy thing we didn't go to. They kept advertising the comedy, and there was this lady with like dreadlocks, and even the commercials for her were terrible. So I was like, no way. We did not do any bingo this time. I did a tiny bit of gambling, like $40 worth, so I can't really speak to that, but I did speak with a gentleman who spent a lot of money, and he said the slots were terrible and very tight. So, whatever. The staff, you can so I think it's probably with every, like I said, I've only been on Carnival, so I don't know other places, but man, the staff is phenomenal. If they're cleaning your room, they call you by name. Happy to see you, ask you how your day was, what did you do on your excursion, did you do an excursion, how was your whatever. They're very friendly. And then for our evening dining, they generally try to keep you with the same people every night. So ours was Michael from the Philippines and Johnny B. Good, that's his nickname, Johnny B. Good. Excellent. Johnny was from Haiti and Michael was from Philippines. I'm just saying their nationality so they can get full recognition, because there's a lot of Johnnies and Michaels out there. I mean, phenomenal. Those guys were really good, and fun to eat with. So there was overall in there for kids or adults. Like I did the slide. They have one water slide, and it was never like super crowded. You could always walk up there and go down the slide. You might have to wait 1 or 2 people, so that was good. They have 3 or 4 pools or 3 or 4 hot tubs. One of them's in the back of the boat and for adults only, which is very nice, so you don't have kids splashing around you. And generally, you could get in the pools. Hot tubs are a little crowded sometimes, but neither better nor worse. They were good. I mean, both of them were good. I won't give them an improvement or a non-improvement. So dining, the fine dining in the evening. So like I said, we went 6 or 7 years ago on a cruise, and when you went to that dining facility in the evening, everything was fine dining. No matter what you ordered, you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So you get an appetizer, entree, dessert. Appetizers were meh, the dining was meh, and the desserts were almost yuck. They, like I said, before on our 7 years ago trip, I gave them an A+ on it. This time I'd give them maybe a D+ on it, because some things were good. The really good thing, there was like a pork chop that was really good, and then beef with a sauce on it, like a pot roast type thing, with mashed potatoes, green beans. That was really good. So D+ might be harsh, but so even the Guy Fieri burgers seemed to step down a little bit for me. I mean, we had at least 2 times. Pizza place is still good. They have a lobster and crab leg thing on there too. We had one little thing, and it wasn't outrageous. If you ever order seafood, I mean, it can be outrageous. So for a lobster, gosh darn it, I can't remember, $25 for an entire lobster. So that was pretty good. Comes out pre-cracked. And then the big hit, which I don't think they had 6 years ago, was a Mongolian place where you fill up your plate with the noodles you want, the veggies you want, and then they throw it in a wok thing and the guy fries it up for you. That place was good and always packed. And don't get the spiciest one. Holy shnikes, it will clear your sinuses out. So let's go to the trips we took while we got there. So the first stop is Roatan. First thing I can say is get up in the morning to pull into Roatan. I think it arrives at 8 or 7, so you don't have to get up at the butt crack of dawn. But oh, it's so beautiful pulling into Roatan. I am telling you right now, it is gorgeous. So, as you probably heard from other places, if you can see, like, there's a free beach to your right as you're pulling in. You can see that as you're pulling into port. You can see it while your ship's still ported there. Walking distance, easily walking distance. They also have a slow-moving, ski lift, where they take you over there. I would not recommend doing that unless if you have, can't walk very well or something, then do it, but definitely worth the walk through there. The beach was, like I said, within walking distance, and when you get there, it is kind of crowded. So the beach chairs is kind of first come, first serve, so you might want to get out there and grab one. Or if you want to do the opposite and wait for everybody, because everyone's going to leave by 11 noon, go out there. Then the shopping there at Roatan is okay. I wouldn't go blowing all my money there. If you're looking for souvenirs, maybe 1 or 2, but there's not a ton of shopping, but it's wide open. Everything's very safe there. All 3 of these are very, very safe. Now, we didn't go anywhere off of that generally safe area. People who left said Roatan was extremely the most impoverished country out of the 3 we went to. And the food and drink right there on that little area was kind of expensive, so we didn't really buy anything to eat or drink. While we were there, we just went on the boat, back on the boat after a nice day on the beach, relaxing. Water was great. So that brings us to Belize. So when you get to Belize, it's shallower, so they park the boats. It's a 20-minute little boat ride to get there to shore. Those boat rides are okay. I get a little seasick if it's bad, and I was fine, and my daughter gets even worse than me, and she was fine on these little boats. Now when you get to Belize, it's more of a, if you've ever been to a third world country with high pressure sales, when you go through there, hey, my friend, come in my shop, hey, check this out, hey, I got this for you. That's what you're talking about here. Great people. And if you're a guy or girl and you want to get your hair braided, this is the place to do it. Wait and do it here. I think my wife paid $55 to get her hair braided. And they do it fast. I mean, they are really fast. It looks really good too. So a lot of guys and gals got that done. Looked really good. If I had enough hair, I would do it, but I don't have enough hair. Lots of shopping there. Lots of souvenirs for good prices. This is where you want to spend your money, in my opinion. And Cozumel next. We'll talk about that. But very good. Lots of good stuff here. So we did not get an excursion here either. We just walked around, and there's people selling in the general area where they have guards and everything. There's people selling bus trips, or ours ended up being a van trip for 80 or $100. So we did that. It's an hour long. You stop at a rum factory. So by law, you can get 1 bottle of rum per person. So me and my wife, so we got 2 bottles of rum, brought it back, and you don't have to declare that. So when you go through customs, they say, do you have anything to declare? You say no, because you can both have 1, unless something changes between here. And I'm not a lawyer, but that's what everybody told me. So the bus trip's very worth it. You get to see a lot of the island, and this is just Belize City. You don't go out in the country. It's like I said, an hour long. Stop at the rum factory. You get to see it's a poor country. So they start like, hey, this is the Indian consulate, and it's right on the beach. I would not live there. It is walled off. It's a poor country. I mean, you feel blessed, and you see, my gosh, how good do we have it here in the United States, and Canadians also. And like I said, good shopping. Let's go to Cozumel. Cozumel, also very good shopping. So this is my favorite place. We've been there twice before this one, and you get there, and now when you leave the boat, first of all, on all of these, whenever you leave the boat, they make you go through this narrow thing of duty-free crap that you can buy while you're going there. Try to buy everything and bring everything you need. Like we had to stop for sunscreen because we ran out. And then get the heck out of there, and then go wander around and check out the shops. And there's a lot of great shopping here. So as you follow the crowds around, take your pictures, you'll get a 3-minute walk away, a 5-minute walk to find the taxis. And if you don't know, so this area is also guarded, very, 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 very safe. And a lot of people just stay in this area the whole time. So what we did is we got, not through Carnival, but a place, we did 7 years ago, we went to a place called Paradise Beach, Cozumel. It was great, all-inclusive, all you could eat and all you can drink. And so we did that again. Not being there in 7 years, you're like, how's this going to be? Did it go up? Did it go down? Well, it went up. This place was better than the last time. They had more lush green things with little brick paths going there. So they have a big swimming pool and a huge chunk of the ocean that they rope off, and they've got paddle boards, kayaks, snorkeling, and the coolest thing is all these inflatables that you can climb on and slide on, feel like you're a kid again. And the obstacle course, if you can make it up and down the monkey bars to the other side, you're it. You're the heat, because it's tough. I fell off my first time. The second time was a charm. My daughter did it twice in a row because she's a machine. Good, like I said, good shopping. Great prices and Paradise Beach. It's Paradise Beach Cozumel, I think.com to schedule it, and they take cards there also. The only thing I will say, bring cash for is to tip the waiters and waitresses that are waiting on you, because they take care of you. So the whole, like I said, you can eat free and drink free alcoholic beverages, and believe me, I took advantage of that a little too much, and it was really fun. So just like I said, follow the crowd to the taxi area. So what I like about the taxi area is it tells you there's a big board. So I'm like, gosh darn it, there's 8 taxi drivers. Am I gonna have to barter with this guy, then barter with that guy, then barter with this lady to get the best price? No, it's just written on there. From there to Paradise Beach, $18. And boom, we got there. The lady said $18. Paid her. So that's what I like, because we didn't have to guess. And then go with that same taxi service is waiting right there when you're done. So that brings us to our deparcation, getting off the boat. Again, they did staggered times, and you can pick it on your Carnival app hub, which works out great because there's not 2,500 people pushing through, the 3rd floor trying to get out. So it works really well. There is food served in the morning, so I recommend a free meal before you leave. You leave on a full stomach, and it was not chaotic at all. This again, I'd give them an A+ on this. The stagger times, like I said, the people from Canada we spoke to at the Paradise Beach said theirs was just a disaster, just trying to park, everybody in, everybody out type of thing. So apparently they haven't learned this thing, but the staggered getting on and getting off is a real blessing. And you go back through customs. Like I said, if you're dumb enough to bring drugs back in, then you deserve to be arrested. And leaving the parking deck, make sure you have windshield washer fluid, because there might be a thin layer of, like we were on the top floor, so you get rain and dry and dust and all that salt water or whatever on there. I guess that wouldn't be saltwater well, it might be, I don't know how close you are right there, New Orleans, to make sure that works. Other than that, that is a good trip. Would I do it again? I don't know, but I would probably try the other cruise line. But I like going down New Orleans because it's a 13-hour trip drive, which sounds long, but it's closer than Texas and Florida for me. So I hope this helps somebody, and hope everybody has a great day.